I gotta open up my second thing here. Where's my stream stuff? There it is. Okay. I do want to leave chat open for the time being, just in case. I should really start recording these rather than streaming them, but I also don't want to record then stream. That's just... Ugh.
It gets annoying.
Yeah.
So now when you can just save the stream.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it takes a little bit longer to do that because Twitch just kind of sucks, but whatever.
Careful, they might cancel you.
No! Fuck, no! No, I said one bad thing about the Twitch staff, god damn it! No! Yeah, welcome to a day in the life. Yes, and so that's how it would be out here.
How do you think Dr. Disrespect got banned?
Nah, didn't he isn't he like a pedophile now?
No.
Yeah, I swear. No, I swear we're looking this up right now. I'm pretty sure he tried hooking up with like a minor.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to, but no, he got banned from freaking Twitch because he talked crap about Twitch, and Twitch goes banned.
As that's in violation of the community guidelines. It's Dr. Disrespect. That man has, of course.
I appreciate everyone watching today.
Who's in the backyard? Who is going to be looking?
Whatever. I swear to God, he tried getting with a minor or something like that. There was like this big thing on allegedly tried to get with a minor.
I would take the MG.
Why do they choose this picture for the opening? Okay, so what happened is apparently there was people getting banned on Twitch a while back that basically were just like, if they had any allegations, regardless if it was true or not, they were just instantly banned.
Are you playing the hardcore?
No, regular. But there's that. What was I? There was something I was going to do. And now I don't know. Can I get my... Okay, so that's my app locker. That's cool. What was I gonna do? There was something I specifically remember I was going to check for. And I don't know what it is now. Oh, yeah. So, fun fact, they have lowered the amount payouts. Instead of it being 100 now, it is $50. So, shit, I can't say that on stream. Oh well. Yeah, there you guys go. Payout for that. Do I have to do did they already give me my tax forms? Okay, no, I was about to say, I was like, they're doing tax forms so early this year. Whatever. So anywho, let's actually get to the podcast. Let's actually get started with what I was supposed to be doing. I don't think it really matters at this point, exactly what we do at this point. It's a podcast. I don't care how long this lasts. So, tonight, obviously, as you can see here, is Jack the Ripper, which, of course, everyone knows the name. But Noah, how many people did Jack the Ripper kill?
Not a clue.
That's what I thought. Apparently, well, not apparently. According, or officially, he killed 5. Now, of course, I'm not going to get into the more victims that, quote-unquote, could have been more, because, like, here in 1888, Martha Tabram was stabbed 39 times. But, like, that it's not, I mean, it probably was Jack, but obviously, It wasn't proven, so I'm not gonna add him in there. I'm just gonna get the canonical 5 in here. So, like I said, a lot of people know Jack the Ripper, but no one really
They
knows
just
much
don't know
about it.
what.
Unless you're one of those people that decided to pull up Netflix and watch that one documentary that I'm gonna pull this up real quick, not on stream, but I'm gonna see how long the documentary was. I remember
I was
seeing it.
tempted to watch it, but then I remembered it really long. I'm not watching that.
I watched the first episode and was like, damn, this is so boring. It was one of the
So I got
most
to, like, halfway. I think I
boring.
got like halfway through the first episode, and I'm like, nah, this crap.
Like
It's
even
boring.
for me, like even I suck at watching documentaries to begin with because I just kind of like skim on through just to get the general idea. But even then, it was so boring. Yeah, it's just straight up called The Ripper. It is, yeah, I literally watched 24 minutes of it. That's how boring it was.
Yeah.
It's a 4 episode long documentary, and I watched 24 minutes of the first episode. I was like, no. Anywho, so basically, Jack the Ripper was active in the early 1800s, right on the turn of the 20th century. I think it was up until a little bit before the 20th century. Yeah, 1888. They were all happening on 1888. So they all started in the Whitechapel area, which I will pull up real quick. At the time, it was known for being extremely poor in basically the quote-unquote slums of London. But now it's like obviously a lot more high up. This doesn't really show. Okay, this shows where it is. It's in southeastern. Wait, yeah, southeastern London. And I do have a map here that I want to pull up. Thank you, Pinterest. Die. Let me pull up the map. Let me pull up the map. I could have just gone to the website that had them. I'm angry. Okay. So as you can see, they all happen in about the same area on Whitechapel. Probably I wouldn't even say like 500 meters away from each other. Especially these two. These two are like right on top of each other. Anywho, wrong one. So Whitechapel is a poor area with a lot of single women who more or less just prostitutes. That's all I can really say. Prostitute. Why do I hear like Mario 64 music coming from your mic? Man over here playing the NES over here.
I went from TikTok and I was a dude playing freaking Mario Kart. I'm like, what?
Anywho, I'll get started with the 2 canonical victims, but I won't get into the only people I will discuss is Mary. I'll discuss Mary, Chapman, Stride, but Catherine Eddowes and Mary Kelly. I won't get into too much. The only reason I'm getting into these two any bit whatsoever, Eddowes and Stride, is for the sole purpose that they were a double murder and they were very close to each other. So I'll get to that in a minute. But basically, I'll put this scene up. Mary Nichols was found on what was the street called? She was found on an alleyway between Bucks Row and Whitechapel. I'm gonna consider it Bucks Row, which is the street that the alleyway she was found on. And she was last seen at 11 p.m. on. It was not August 30th. It was August 8th, right? 8th. No, August 31st. Okay. I was close. Just closed my script, so I'm gonna be eyeballing it here. So she was killed on August 31st. She was last seen okay, no, she was last seen August 30th because technically, okay, I'm just stupid. She was last seen on August 30th at 11 p.m. Going to a public house, which a public house is just slang for pub. Pretty sure it's actually what it is. A public house is just a pub. Yeah, it's just a pub. I'm an idiot. A pub is a public house. So there, she went to a pub, and she was a single woman. She didn't have children. Sorry, someone texted me. I was like, "What do they want?" And you were like, "Just realized you were in a podcast. My bad." It's good to see recognition. Woo. Anywho, she divorced her husband, left her kids. Um, fucking Mary was wild. She divorced from her husband, moved in with her mother, right? No, moved in with her father, and then she just started bickering and fighting with him for no reason, and then just left and moved to Whitechapel with another man, which he was a suspect in, or he was considered one of the Jack the Ripper suspects. But to be honest, I don't see it. I might get into it a little bit, but whatever. He's not that important. So she was going out that night to make rent money. And as I said earlier, a lot of women in the Whitechapel area were known to be prostitutes. So she went out, and then her body was found by one Charles Cross. Charles Cross found her at 3:40 on August 31st, not 30th, 31st. And at first, he thought she's just drunk. You know, that's pretty stereotypical for the slums of London. And then he saw another man walking by, Robert Paul. Robert Paul then went over and felt her face, which was warm. Then he felt her hands, which were cold. Ross decided that she was dead for whatever reason. He was like, this woman isn't drunk, she's just dead. And Cross just, or not Cross, Paul thought she was just drunk because she was still warm. And so they both went to go find a police officer, which I don't think they named him. Yeah, no, they didn't name him. Also, this is 1880s London, so they can't see much. So they both go off to work while the police officer goes to go check the body. Well, he turns the corner and sees that she is just dead. Her throat's been cut. So he yells for someone to go get the morticianer. The morticianer. I looked it up. Apparently, the word morticianer is not a word. Like, no matter how many times I try to spell it, it just doesn't. There's no like.
He's just a mortician.
Yeah, but I always thought like the career was
kind of like engineer, like morticianeer type of thing.
Yeah, engineer. You can't say engineer. No, you can't say engineer, can't you? Isn't that a word, engineer? And
yeah, engineer is.
engineer. Here, the word engineer is not a word too. This goes to show that my English skills are not strong.
No, engineer is definitely a word.
No, engineer is. Engineer is not, with an extra er at the end.
No.
Man, what was that? What was that one show? Bob the Builder. Man, they made up so that makes me mad. They lied to me. They told me engineer was a word. Specifically, remember it was from Bob the Builder, and I don't know why. Anywho, so he calls for the mortician, and he doesn't see any blood trails or tire marks because this is the 1880s. 1880s was the rise of the automobile. I believe technically the Peaky Blinders, which were known for being a no, I don't want the show. I don't care about the show. Um, I don't want the show. They were a street gang in Birmingham. Now, obviously, Birmingham and Whitechapel are not close whatsoever. You can take a look and see where Birmingham is. They are not near whatsoever. But there was gang violence, obviously. And during this time, they still had cars and stuff like that. Now, it wasn't as bad as stuff like this was also a lot later too. Peaky Blinders were mainly World War One veterans that just couldn't find a living. But whatever. Gang thing. So he thought maybe it was just a random murder. And so you can go next to Annie Chapman. Why did I say Chapman? Chapman, who was murdered on the 8th, which had another very similar thing, another similar murder. She was found with her throat slit, and I believe this one was the first that said, this is the one that she was, this is the first one that was, what's it called? Disavowed. Yeah. Had her throat cut, but this time she was disavowed, which is where we start getting the Ripper from. Well, no, technically he gets his name because the way that the throat was cut, it made it look like it was ripped rather than it was cut.
Sort of kind of like he used a serrated blade to do it instead.
I wouldn't say a razor blade because a razor blade at least cuts clean. I would say something more or less like a
serrated blade.
serrated. Oh, I thought you said razor. I was like, no, razor blade would cut a nice straight. I didn't hear. No, Mike broke up, so all I heard was Ray as in sir, not so. Anywho, you could basically just rinse and repeat this for both Stride, Catherine, and Mary because they all have very similar things. But the funny thing is just like the Zodiac and other serial killers that weren't caught at the time, Jack liked to taunt. And I actually don't have his letters pulled up. So hopefully I can get a transcript of it because God knows I'm not trying to read cursive. There we go. Okay, so I did find a transcript of the Dear Boss and then the From Hell letter. He would like to taunt the police and media by sending letters to them, just like the Zodiac. So one says, "Dear boss, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about the leather apron, which one of the evidences was a leather, or one of the ones was they saw a man wearing a leather apron. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on whores and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled." Basically what this says is he I can't I am down on whores. That's such a hard thing to describe. Basically, or not describe, but like I know what it means, but to put it in regular English makes it hard. He's basically saying he is out of people to murder. Like he doesn't have anyone else that's like in his quote unquote criteria, I would assume is what would be the best fitting word for that. And I shan't, which means I shall not quit ripping them till I get arrested. Grand work the last job was just talk about this last mother. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Basically, he's just saying I saved the blood and it didn't work. Ready is fit enough, I hope. Ha ha. The next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send the police officer just for the jolly. Just for the jolly, wouldn't you? Basically, he's just saying, wouldn't you do the same? Keep the setter back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp. I want to get to work right away if I get the chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind me giving the trade name. P.S. Was it good enough to post this before I got all the writing off? My hands curse it. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha. So one of the police theories at the time was that Ripper was actually a morticianer, or not a mortician, or a mortician, or that he was a doctor of some sorts, because due to the disemboweling, it was done quote unquote medically or professionally medically or medically professional. Anywho, it looked like it was skillful, like he knew what he was doing. And then the next one is the Stacy Jack postcard. I was not coding dear old boss when I gave you the tip. You'll hear about Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow. Double event this time. Number one squealed a bit, couldn't finish straight off. Had not got time to get ears off for police. Thanks for keeping last letter back till I got to work again. Ripper. And then we got the From Hell letter, which is just From Hell, Mr. Lux store. I'm pretty sure I was meant to say stir or sorry. I don't know. One of the two. I send you half the kidney I took from the one woman. Still don't know how to pronounce this word. I have read it over and over again. Don't know how to pronounce it, nor do I know what it means. Oh wait, it's just misspelled. I'm guessing it's supposed to say preserved. Or persevered. I'm gonna say it's preserved. No, I preserved it for you. I preserved it for you to get other piece or another piece. Oh no, I preserved it for you. Other piece. I fried it and ate it. It was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out if you only wait a while longer. Signed, then sign it. Catch me when you can, Mr. I love that. I love the way he just goes, Mr. Lusk. So I don't want to get into theories quite yet, but I do believe that this first one, these two, I don't think the From Hell letter was actually written. No, I think this one. I think the From Hell letter was written by the actual Jack, and the rest of the two were either no, because this one. Okay, I'll get into it in a minute. Let's just get into who was it? Edo's and Stride. Yeah, Edo's and Stride. So Edo's and Stride were killed on the same night, and I believe Stride was found first. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so yes, Bride was murdered first. And the police found her quite quickly and started searching. And obviously, you can see this area is not that big. So, wait a minute. Yeah, that is. So, police find Stride and they start searching. Well, Jack over here murders Edo's not but an hour afterwards. Not only gets away with it scot-free, doesn't get spotted, he's not seen because you think after committing two murders someone would be at least like have bloody hands or something, especially when they have the police down over in this area. They would be a little bit sloppy, but like he just doesn't. He just doesn't get seen. And I haven't really put this theory in the script because it didn't come to mind until I was looking at the map and I was going over the letters yesterday. But you know what? Where are we right now? Okay. Yeah. So they ended up releasing the Dear Boss, or was it from from yeah. It was the Dear Boss letter that they gave out to the public in hopes of finding someone with similar handwriting, and of course that turned up nothing. So man, do I really want to get started with the theories? Because the theories are gonna take a minute. Let's see what time we're working. Okay, we're about a half hour in. Be fine. I just don't want to get too long. I will say that the first murder, which is Nichols, was probably seen as a one-off thing. And then when Chapman was murdered, that's when people started getting really scared. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting over, I'm going over the theories. So to make this statement very early on, the police suck. 1880s. They don't have fingerprinting. They don't have anything. We don't get fingerprinting until 2 AD in Japan and China, but obviously that's not accurate. And it states that 1902 is when it did originally start as well. But I don't think it was widespread. Let's just find the first criminal trial that used fingerprints as evidence. 1910 was the first one. So we're still a good 30 years off for fingerprints. And even then, they were very crude. Very, very crude. I don't trust this at all. I do not trust that website. Here we are. Here's a .org. Normally .orgs are backed by a good bit. Yeah, in the late 19th century is when they started actually being quote unquote used. They didn't start making like big breakthroughs until the late 19 into like the mid 1900s. Anywho, so obviously they don't have any of that. They don't have DNA. They don't have much of anything besides hearsay, which is about how much we have to go off. It's just hearsay. This is the official like check, right? You could take a look here at the what do they call the there's a certain they named a certain they had a certain what is it called? They called they had a certain like group of investigators that investigated this. And well, they had a certain they had a certain I swear to God they had a certain name for the police officers. Huh. Yeah, I guess whatever. So as you can see, there's a lot more. There's a torso that was just straight up found on the 10th of September, which obviously can't be linked, but it's not a part of the 500. They don't have much to go off of besides hearsay. And we're gonna start off with the more boring one, and then we're gonna get more and more extreme as we go on, kind of like how we did last time with drunk aliens, except this time it's not gonna be that like. I mean, knowing me and Noah, it'll probably go to that extent. So the first one is very simple. Jack just didn't live in the Whitechapel area. That's why no one recognized him. And obviously, it's London. And if you know anything about the early 1900s London, or anything,
There was no light.
huh?
There was barely any light.
Well, that and okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's considered, yes, yes. So in the Eastern Hemisphere, which is basically the continents of Europe and Asia, you have all the big countries like Japan, China, Russia, all those during this time was known to be extremely dark. Not just the lighting aspect, but the human cultural aspect of it too. Many of the people during that time, oh my god, what's it called? Oh, I remember talking about this in one of my history classes. Um,
Probably eight.
art time period 19th century Europe. It had a specific name, neoclassicism, which is decorative style. Wait a minute, no, it's not. Was it realism? I think it was realism. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Realism. Okay, let's just look up when Vincent van Gogh. 'Cause yes, I know he's Dutch, but um, yeah, 1885. And if you look, you can see that it's very dark, very grim. What is his art considered? What is this man's art considered?
I don't know.
I want to know what it's called.
Would it be considered abstract?
Well, it obviously is considered abstract, but it had a specific name. I don't remember that
I don't know.
specific
One was
name.
Knight.
Huh?
I think one of them, or was that Leonardo da Vinci?
Da Vinci? No. Uh,
I'm just trying to remember who painted the Starry Night one.
that's Van Gogh. Van Gogh did Starry Night. I'm almost positive of that. Yeah, he did. Starry Night. Oh my god, who was the guy that just randomly died in like a fucking ditch? He was an American artist. He wrote, oh my god, what's his name? Uh, Edgar Allan Poe. Now, honestly, he's not an artist,
No, and that Edgar Allan Poe
but
was a freaking.
yeah, I know he's a poet. I know he's a poet, but fun fact, he attended UVA.
Yep,
I didn't know that. Forgot about that.
I did. That's about one of the
Genres. Let's see if I can't just get his genre. Gothic. That's what it's called. How would I forget? He had Gothic. He had Dark Romanticism, which Dark Romanticism is just a subgenre of Romanticism, and it's just more of a grotesque and like more like gory and weird romantic look on life. But that was what was going on in the 1800s. It was very dark. I'm pretty sure 1880s was still the Industrial Revolution for yeah, it was the second, was it the second Industrial Revolution? Yeah, second Industrial Revolution. So obviously people are very depressed about that. Because no offense for the Industrial Revolution, who was happy during that time? Anywho, so the reason why I'm trying to go over this is so important is because Whitechapel is near one of the bigger cities in London that was known at the time for being extremely wealthy. So I'm just an actual idiot. Whitechapel is in London. I keep forgetting that's in the London region. It's just called Greater London. So, was it Birmingham that it was outside of? No, was it Birmingham? Where is it? There was one that it was near. Okay, let's see if I can find Whitechapel. Where are you, Whitechapel? Where the hell is Whitechapel? So it's like right here outside of London. So obviously you have a lot of rich people living in London. So why not just go from London to Whitechapel, murder someone, have fun, and then not get caught? Wouldn't you want to do that again? I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people I know that would do that. This is a lot about me. That really does. Oh well. You get my point. So this man could have easily just been some rich guy who just thought people were below him, went over and murdered someone, didn't get caught because no one saw him, and he just went back to London. Came back, taunted the police. No one's gonna recognize his handwriting because, well, he's from London, and no one from Whitechapel's gonna know anyone from London because they don't go there because it's too expensive for them to go. So obviously that's the most boring theory you can go with. And then you can go with the next one, which is Jill the Ripper instead of Jack the Ripper, which states that instead of it being a man that did it, it was a woman. A very Jill the Ripper is a very weird theory. I'll see if I can't find the overarching idea. Um, quote unquote, basically, instead of um basically, let's see if I can find it. Uh, bu- 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 bu. Basically, what it states is that Jill decided to. It's obviously there's not much behind it. Now that I start looking at this again, there is a specific bu- 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 I can't remember. There it is. It states that the killer burned their own clothes and then changed into Mary's clean clothes as a means of a disguise. Now, obviously, this is a very loosely based theory, but it does make some kind of sense if you think about the time period. 1880s, a lot of the times women were mainly looked upon as either something to use because you're in the Whitechapel area, they're a prostitute, or you go to them if you're pregnant or something like that because they're housewives or they already have children and they know they have a lot better medical experience than any guy is gonna have at the time besides maybe a doctor. But still, they would probably have about the same level of expertise as a doctor during this time because not much to medicine at the time during the early 1880s or during the late 1880s. It gets a lot better compared to what it was, but it still just wasn't as good as it started hitting in the 1900s, especially in Europe. So the idea was that Jill murdered and then changed into clothes. And since she had better anatomical knowledge than any guy would, or any just random guy would, it only makes sense that a woman would do it because, well, they would have more knowledge of it. Now, I don't really necessarily agree with the last one. This next one, though, is probably what I'm going to go with here. I haven't put it in the script, and I don't think I'm going to, just because I'm going to explain it here. Jack the Ripper, just like the Zodiac, was not one person. It was two. The reason I think this is because, as you saw earlier, in these, there's the letters. There's the letters. Letters here. In the From Home letter, you could see that this person here cannot write. They really can't. I send you half the kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you. Other piece I fried and ate it. It was very nice. No offense, but this is something I would see in like my kindergarten. Like, Noah, do you still have any like papers from kindergarten? And you look back on it now when you have to like decipher and decode what you were thinking at the time? Bro, this man's gone. Let me check something.
His battery died.
Oh, okay. Anywho, that's weird. I don't know who that was, but it's okay. Um, where are we? You can see here, this is a lot more sophisticated. It's very similar to the From Hell letter due to the fact that it's not grammatically great, but at least he's not misspelling a lot of it. Like here, you don't see any misspelling, you just see weird grammatical errors, such as, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. That's right. Then you have, I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. The joke about the leather apron, like, it doesn't flow right. But then again, this is the 1880s, so English isn't, like, it's also Europe, so they write differently and such and such. It's just a little funky. This one down here is just utterly just hard to understand if you don't read the entire thing first and then try and decipher it. Then you can go back over to the map, and you can see that Jack can easily go from Stride, go up Commercial Road, head over to Whitechapel Street, down Aldgate, and hit Mitre Square and mirror Catherine Eddowes. Or you could do the easiest thing. Have two people, one go in from over here, head down Duke Street, find someone, murder them here. And then you can have another person either come down from Royal Mint, get on that road, head over here, and then they have a quick escape out. It just doesn't make sense for him to run up here, run all the way down on the main street, not be seen, by the way, not at all, go down, commit another murder, go back onto this road because he has to, and either head out straight, go to the left, take Leaden Hall out, or go back down the main road a bit, head up, hit another main road, go here, hit another main road. Like, it doesn't make any sense for him to go here, 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 do all this jazz, like a Tetris puzzle, and then just leave without being seen. So it makes more sense that you would only have one person go here, and then walk, leave, here, walk, leave. It makes more sense that someone just wouldn't be seen there. It just doesn't make any bit of sense for it to, also some of the other areas, just because if you see, there's two murders down here, obviously, but there's so much more up here. So it makes sense that he would live somewhere up here, opposed to down here. So it would make sense that he would only come down here once. And the only time he comes down here is when he commits two murders back to back. So it pushes the theory more that there's two people. Because it's very easy to come over here, kill someone, and then as the heat dies down, another person comes in, kills another person, that heat starts to die down, he comes back, they go out, commit double murder, leave, wait a little bit, and then come back and then kill Mary Jane Kelly. It only makes sense that it would be two people doing that. And you could do the exact same for the Zodiac, even though the Zodiac, one of the witnesses stated that there was only one person there, and so on and so forth. That was a little tricky, but and apparently the Zodiac one was solved. It was a police officer. I don't think that, though. Like, who knows? Because apparently one of the witnesses of the Zodiac, when I was going to do a podcast on, I was going to do a podcast on Zodiac, but I didn't feel like doing it, trying to just decode a letter. That's just very boring. And me putting together a cipher just doesn't sound fun, or piecing together a cipher just doesn't sound fun. I think that's about it for the two theories that I have, besides the fact that yeah, I think that's just about it for theories there. Me making fun of the police, yeah. I guess I can go over the guy that lived with Nicole's. So let me go over here to the suspects. At first he thought it was gang members. Alright. Any was it Chapman? Uh,
Sorry, my battery's dead.
yeah, who the fuck came in here and was just like, his phone died. There was just some random
brother.
person that just, huh?
It was my brother. It was my brother.
Oh. Why the fuck does your little brother have a deeper voice than you do?
It's not my little brother. It's my older brother. He's fucking 22. 22?
Oh, I thought you said little brother. I was like, huh?
No, it's
This
my
man sounds like he's had too few bourbons tonight or some shit. His balls dropped a little.
Right.
Like,
No, it's my older brother.
there was a specific person. Now I can't remember his name. That lived. It was either with Chapman or Nicole. But there were so many suspects. I doubt I would be able to find it. Anyway, I think that's just about it. Oh wait, I can vote to see who Jack the Ripper is? Let's go. H.H. Holmes? Maybe, it might be him. Prince Albert Edward Victor? I forgot they put a fucking prince in here.
War Crime 6.
We're gonna go with Aaron Kosminski because it sounds like Kaczynski, just like the same guy that sent bombs to people in their mailboxes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Results, let's take a look at this. Aaron Kosminski is the #1 person. That is hilarious. H.H. Holmes is the 8. That's great. John Pizer? Isn't that the guy who owns no, he's a genuine suspect. Oh no, I'm thinking of Pfizer, not Pizer. Whatever.
Okay.
Anywho, I think we're just about done here for the night. So if you're scared of the dark, just think that this man was, 1, never found, and 2, all of the murders were committed in dark alleyways with no line of sight. Besides maybe a street lamp on the main Whitechapel Road, so if you don't like the dark, you're welcome for that. Good luck sleeping. I know I won't. That's just because I never sleep. Whatever. Story obviously is not 100% accurate because, well, it was recorded in the 1880s and we can't remember what happened. Half the U.S. can't remember what happened during World War I or II, regardless name what years they were in. No, what years did World War I start in?
World War One, I
For the
believe
U.S. at
was,
least. For the U.S.
I
at
think it
least.
was 1914.
My brother in Christ, no. Okay, okay, you are technically right because it started in 1914, and the U.S. involvement was year or two after. I think it was 1916 is when we got on.
1917 was when the U.S. joined.
Oh yeah, it was like right before the end of whenever it's called World War One. We started World War One.
I know it started in 1914, but
Anywho, why did I go off on this tangent? Oh yeah, because um the story was in like 1880 and people don't remember well, especially not the US because our education system is garbage.
yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I think I'm gonna head out for the night. I'll edit it tomorrow when I get home because I'm too tired to do it now. I'll see you later, Noah. Have a good night.
See ya. Night.
Uh, 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 uh. I'll see all of you tomorrow. As per usual on stream, I'll see you next Thursday if you're tuning in from elsewhere. Night. Take care. Be safe. And we'll be back with, I think, let me take a look at the calendar. We might have one more before. Okay, we got two more. Next week, I don't know what's going to be, but I do know the last one is going to be the one girl who died in the elevator. We're going to put up that one girl that died in the elevator. I never remember her name. Eliza Lamb. And I'm gonna have my friend Hunter help me out with that one, and Miss C and my teacher Miss C is definitely gonna know that's not gonna be a good idea, but it's gonna make for some great funny jokes. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night. Take care. Be safe.